Chief Justice John Roberts tries to mock Jasmine Crockett, but her legal brilliance shuts him down on live TV. In a moment that will go down in history as one of the boldest legal clapbacks ever witnessed on live television, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett left Chief Justice John Roberts speechless after he attempted to mock her legal understanding during a nationally televised judicial roundtable. The event, meant to showcase bipartisan dialogue about the future of constitutional rights and judicial impartiality, quickly morphed into an unforgettable showdown. Roberts, usually calm, collected, and rarely rattled, seemed unusually testy when Crockett, a former civil rights attorney and rising Democratic firebrand, began questioning the court's perceived leanings and lack of transparency in recent rulings. With a wry smirk, Roberts interrupted Crockett mid-sentence and asked, "Congresswoman, are you interpreting constitutional law now, or just giving us a dramatic reading of your Twitter feed?" The audience let out a surprised laugh, but Crockett didn't flinch. In fact, her expression sharpened, and what followed was a masterclass in legal takedown that no one saw coming. Crockett leaned forward, eyes locked on Roberts, and said, "Chief Justice, I didn't swear an oath to trend, I swore an oath to defend the Constitution. I studied the law to protect people from power, not to cozy up to it. If you think my legal education, my courtroom wins, and my record as a constitutional advocate are punchlines, then maybe the robe is doing more to protect egos than the rule of law." The crowd went silent. Roberts looked stunned. For a few seconds, it appeared as though he would respond, but no words came. Crockett wasn't finished. She launched into a precise, detailed critique of the court's most recent 5-4 decisions, citing case law, precedent, and legal theory with surgical precision. The force of her argument not only silenced the Chief Justice but turned the tide of the entire event. Crockett continued by challenging the court's approach to voting rights, campaign finance loopholes, and the erosion of checks and balances. Each point landed like a hammer, deliberate, confident, and devastatingly sharp. Legal analysts watching the event in real time began tweeting things like, "Jasmine Crockett just gave the Supreme Court a free seminar in constitutional accountability." By the time she wrapped her remarks, the atmosphere had completely shifted. What began as an attempt to humiliate her had turned into a national moment of empowerment and clarity. Even some conservative voices on social media admitted that Crockett's legal prowess was undeniable. Backlash against Roberts began trending almost instantly. Hashtags such as #Roberts silenced, #Crockett crushes SCOTUS, and #Legal Queen Crockett took over social media platforms. Clips of the moment, some with cinematic music and dramatic slow-mo, flooded TikTok and YouTube. One popular video titled, "When a Chief Justice Gets Schooled Live," racked up over 3 million views in 24 hours. Comment sections were filled with praise like, "She didn't just speak, she defended democracy with every word. That was the moment the gavel dropped on judicial arrogance." Even celebrities jumped in. Kerry Washington tweeted, "That was not a debate. That was justice being spoken by someone who's lived it." And activist Sean King wrote, "Roberts tried to minimize her, and Jasmine gave the most brilliant rebuttal I've ever seen." Lawyers everywhere are taking notes. The moment also reignited discussions about the public's growing demand for judicial accountability and the importance of diverse voices in legal and political discourse. Crockett, far from gloating, released a calm statement saying, "I wasn't there to win a fight. I was there to remind people that no one, not even a Supreme Court justice, is above being held to the truth." She later appeared on MSNBC where she broke down her exchange with Roberts, calling it a necessary check on power, not a personal victory. That humility, combined with her razor-sharp intellect, only amplified the public's respect. As for Roberts, he has yet to address the exchange publicly, but court insiders say he was visibly shaken and deeply frustrated by how the moment played out. Some even speculate that the Chief Justice's failed jab may go down as one of the most regrettable public miscalculations of his career. Regardless of political leaning, what Jasmine Crockett accomplished was more than just a personal triumph. She exposed the arrogance that often hides behind the bench and reminded the nation that knowledge, courage, and conviction can shake the highest pillars of power. For more explosive political moments, fearless truth-telling, and the stories the mainstream media won't show you, like, comment, and subscribe to Watched.